Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Daily. And yes, you're not seeing things. It's myself and Jeremy on the same stream. Despite the fact that we hate each other, despite the fact that I've pushed Jeremy out of his own channel, despite all of these things, we decided to pretend for the internet
for a day.
Things all are well. And, you know, here we are once again. What's up, Jeremy?
I'm here. Yes, for a day we are pretending that we do not hate each other. But yeah, it's good to be back. And I'm glad we get to talk about Superman's James Gunn's Superman, whatever. It's been a hell of a weekend watching all this play out and the discussion surrounding this movie. And I did not like the movie. I think most people know that watch this channel already. Yeah, I am not a fan. And Ryan.
Well, nobody would have seen a video from you about that, Jeremy.
No, but I was on a live stream. So the people that watch the live streams know, because that's where I did my review that's on Geeks and Gamers 2 now. But Ryan, I attempted to watch BVS again last night.
Still hate it.
I fucking still hate that movie, dude. I despise that movie so much. I don't hate Man of Steel as much as I used to, but I still hate BVS as much as I used to hate it. I felt kind of the same way with BVS. I really like the opening scene with Bruce. I think that whole thing is awesome. I love the fact that he runs into those buildings, you know. And I like how they did the backstory and everything. I love the overhead shots that Snyder does in those scenes. But once the movie starts rolling, it's a convoluted fucking mess, dude. They do a better job of the themes, though, with Superman and the government and the danger. The themes are far better executed in that movie than in Superman 25, for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, I gave it a shot. I hate that movie. Can't do it.
Why? I don't even know why you would compare the two. I mean, in like Batman v Superman, you basically have Superman being framed for, you know, like interfering in some international conflict. You got world governments and people like that are really mad that Superman's interfering and trying to figure out how to handle that and trusting Superman. You've got other heroes that might be suspicious of Superman and are pitted against Superman because of these things. Lex Luthor's actually behind all of this. The plan falls through, so he ends up kind of creating some genetic abnormality that can battle Superman. I don't really know why you would compare something like BVS to James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah, no comparison whatsoever. It's really apples and oranges at this point. I'm just reaching with that.
That was one of the most interesting things to me about like the movie and some of the things that they tackled, because you have two things. To me, and I talked about it a lot, it feels clearly like this is made to be like the proton to the electron. It is meant to be like a complete inverse polarity from Man of Steel and BVS. Like that feels like the intention. Like that was the core foundation of this movie. We're going to make it the opposite of that because of the criticism. And even though obviously I'm a bigger fan of those movies than you are, I can understand. I understand people have their criticisms, and I get why they do. So I can get wanting to do something different. They went completely in the opposite direction. However, used a lot of the same situations and a lot of the same themes from those, which I found kind of interesting if you're trying to distance yourself like that.
And the movie, it feels like you're starting out with the second movie. You know, like you're just kind of thrown into this story that everything's already established and there's no setup for anything. You know, it does feel like the second movie in this world that we're in. And it just, I don't know, man, none of it worked for me. And we're going to get into the reception, the box office, all of that. But yeah, I've seen it twice now, and nothing changed on the second viewing for me. Literally nothing. It just confirmed everything that I felt on the first viewing. I really don't like this movie. There's little I can appreciate. Just mainly because of the treatment of Superman. I just think that Superman is treated terribly in this movie. I understand that they were trying to make him as Boy Scout, and he's kind of like oblivious to a fault sometimes, that he's so good, but him being disrespected all through the movie and talked down to all through the movie, and having him tell Lois that he loves her for her to not say it back. The fuck are we doing here? What?
Yeah, I know you despise the
Dude,
movie
that's fucking
completely.
insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
So there are elements of the things that I really like. I like the Boy Scout element of Superman. I like the idea that he wants to save all these people. But you're right. There needs to be a balance of that and still have everyone like respect him. And we never got to see that in the movie. You can pretend like maybe that's how things were before this social media campaign started. You can pretend like, well, maybe that's how things were in our minds. Like when we see, all we get is like the text intro of setup for the character. And maybe that is the way that people looked at him before these things happened. But it's not the way it is in the movie. And I felt like we could have benefited from seeing Superman as Superman before a plan by Lex Luthor undercuts him and makes people question him and makes people think that he's not taking the right actions or doing the right things.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that.
It's going to be a very highly discussed film for the next several weeks and maybe even, over the next month. We'll see how Fantastic Four plays once it comes out. I kind of feel like that's going to be very kind of like forgettable. But potentially maybe it's not. But yeah, I feel like Superman's just going to be this it's DC, man. People are far more invested in the DC characters in the DC world than they are Marvel, for better or for worse. I mean, the Snyder movies, people still debate the Snyder movies to this day, all that time later. The Batman doesn't really get like debated. I feel like people were I don't think anyone thought the Batman was the greatest Batman movie ever, but I think people enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed it. It was fine. You liked it more than I did, but it was fine.
I did. Famously, I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To the point where in my Superman review, they were like, I can't believe you like this good black person, Ryan. Mr. Terrific. It's like, I like Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific is the best part of James Gunn's Superman, or Superman 25 is what I've been calling it. So, but I'm interested to talk about the box office. I want to hear what you have to say.
Can you imagine, like, this movie was supposed to be called Superman Legacy.
I know.
That would have been a really fucking strange name for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wouldn't really make any sense. Do you also remember, I've been like seeing articles resurface and stuff like 2023, James Gunn's like, Superman won't be a comedy. Like you can do that with some characters, but you can't do that to these characters. It's like,
I don't recall those articles, but I definitely remember him trying to distance the it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy with Superman in it. And I don't think it goes as heavy on the comedy as Guardians does, but maybe that's because most of the comedy doesn't land for me.
Yeah.
It really doesn't land for me. I can't remember anything. Like, again, to clarify, I love all three Guardians movies. I think 2 is the weakest, but I still enjoyed 2. But I think all 3 of those Guardians movies are fantastic in their own way. And the comedy works for almost all of Guardians. I don't remember much in this movie that I actually found like funny. I don't recall, but there was a lot of attempts to be funny. God, that scene in the end, it was in the trailer, where Terrific's yelling at him after he's, defeated the final villain. I'm not going to be too specific. He's like, I'm doing important things here. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck are we doing, man? What are we doing? And Crypto, I will take Baby Yoda all day long over Crypto.
My problem is there was just too much of Crypto. Now, look, Crypto is a cheap pop. Kids are going to love Crypto, and that's great. Kids, like, you should want to be able to get kids to go to your Superman movie and enjoy your Superman movie. And I do think younger audiences is going to play better with them because of the pacing, because of the dog, like stuff like that. For me, there was just like too much Crypto. Like throughout the entire thing and like how integral he was to the plot and at the end. But your problem with Crypto is I think that he shows that he's like everybody else. He has no respect for Superman.
Yeah, he represents the entire problem with the whole movie is that Superman has no authority in this movie with anyone. Name anyone that respects Superman in this movie. Like nobody just respects Superman when he shows up. They second guess him, they question him, they dismiss him. He's trying, when they're fighting the kaiju, he's like trying to keep it alive. So like, and they're just like, fuck you. We're going to do it our way. We don't care what you have to say, Superman. Like, that's the whole movie, is him not being taken seriously ever. Drives me crazy. And yeah, Crypto just represents that. He has no power or authority in any situation whatsoever. And again, if everybody in the movie respects him and Crypto doesn't, that's funny. Oh, the most powerful man in the world, and his damn dog doesn't respect him. Oh, I can relate to that as a dog owner, you know? But no. Like, everybody disrespects him. Anyway, go ahead.
Hayden Wayne for $50. Something I think everyone should be aware of this week. Makeship has canceled all future collaborations with ASMR streamer Darlene Straub simply because of her association with her husband, Rev Says Dessous. Nothing she did or said. Everyone should know.
Yeah, and I saw that the other day. I don't know what the problem with Rev is. I watch Rev's channel. Rev's great. So I don't really understand what I did see that go blowing up on Twitter. And I'm just, my question was like,
first I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, I saw it because I'm subscribed to Rev. Rev does great work, great channel. And so I'm just sitting there going, why the hell did they, what's the problem with Rev? If they got a problem with Rev, they probably got a problem with us, but we've worked with them before. So what's the specifics on that, Hayden? What's the issue with Rev? I'm curious about that.
I don't know. Thanks for letting me know. Jeremy already knew, but thanks for letting me know, Hayden. I appreciate it. Gerald Armstrong for 5 says, Ryan, Tyrone Magnus wanted me to tell you. He sent me. That sounds like a fucking threat.
Hail Tyrone.
No, it is. Tyrone reacted to, I think, one of my videos from the other day. I want to show part of it because this was the funniest part of it for me. And shout out to Tyrone Magnus. I think this is it. My intro music fooled him. Okay. My intro music fooled him.
The first time I ever heard this intro, I just knew it was a black dude's channel. I said, this dude made his own beat. He about to drop. He gonna drop a cipher on this. I just knew this was the beginning of a rap track. Listen. Right?
He's 100% right about that.
And Ryan, you fooled me for a while. Like, I knew who you were, but every time I heard that intro, I was like, okay, black dude about to pop up. I keep forgetting this is Ryan's channel.
In the weeks leading up to it.
It's good
I did
stuff.
think that was funny. So. Shout out to Tyrone Magnus.
I agree with Tyrone.
I did reply. I said my soul is black, if that counts. But he was reacting to the box office stuff, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about a little bit today, because obviously people are going to feel the way they feel about the movie. If you'd listened to every influencer that was brought out to the premiere and stuff like that, you would have thought that this movie's going to hit $1 billion and stuff like that. And it came out and, domestically, $120-ish million. An okay debut domestically. I don't think that that's like necessarily desperate. Oh my gosh, the worst thing ever. Could have had a little bit more than that. But internationally, I think there's reason to be very, very worried for Warner Brothers and for DC. But let's get into some of this stuff, because I found it suspicious, Jeremy, when James Gunn's going out there. He's like, the idea that this movie needs to hit $700 million. It's not that big of a deal if it doesn't. It's really, not that big of a deal if we, don't even beat Man of Steel. And based on all of the money we've spent on this and all of the marketing, which is now continuing to be revised. It's funny how that works, despite documents saying that this is what the budget is and people confirming that this is what the marketing budget is. All of a sudden, just like Disney, just like we've seen with DC movies before, they said, no, we actually didn't spend that much. We promise. Trust us. But then they said they'll celebrate if it hits $500 million worldwide for the launch of a new universe of a Superman movie. Kind of crazy.
On no planet is that a success. On none. It's just not. There's no way you can look at that and say, oh yeah, they're releasing a Superman movie that's directed by the guy that's running the entire studio, and $500 million is okay. No, not with this budget, not with this marketing, not with the expectations, not with what they're following up with the Snyderverse and Man of Steel and the numbers Man of Steel made what over a decade ago, where your opening weekends, like you've broken down very well in your videos, Ryan, talking about how opening weekends used to be midnight at on Thursday, or maybe 10 p.m.
Midnight on
maybe
Friday. Yeah.
Or 10 p.m. on Thursday is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and now it's like, we're getting to the point where sometimes it's 2:00 on a Thursday. Sometimes it's Wednesday. This one was Tuesday with Prime, Amazon Prime subscriptions. It's a completely different world. And for this to underperform against Man of Steel is a massive problem. And $500 million, if that's your bottom line or if that's your success line, you're lying to everybody.
It's trying to manage expectations. It's PR spin. And, obviously in the aftermath, James Gunn is like, thank you guys so much. We love the reception to this. It's so incredible. David Zaslav saying we're so proud of this. And this is just the beginning. We've got so much more on the way. And people are like, well, look, the people in charge at Warner Brothers are saying they're really happy with it. It's like, well, yeah, Bob Iger came out after opening weekend of Thunderbolts was a massive disappointment and said, we're really proud of Thunderbolts. And this is the first step forward for the new Marvel. It's like we call those things out. We call it out when they try to tell us that $425 million is the break-even point for Captain America Brave New World. But for some reason, there's people really dedicated to not looking at the same scenarios and things like that for a movie like Superman.
And I liked Thunderbolts.
You did.
And no one else really did, especially in this sphere. And it completely flopped. Was I crying saying, oh my God, I can't believe their people are being negative to be. No, people didn't like Thunderbolts. It's fine. And then if you go, the same people that are like super sensitive over Superman, they're like, well, look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. Oh, you mean the same one that has a higher fan score for Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
Who cares what the fucking Rotten Tomatoes says? The numbers are the numbers. And the numbers were not good for Thunderbolts, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's why they went super desperate and tried to roll out the new Avengers marketing sooner than they probably wanted to, because the numbers were not as good as they wanted them to be. And now you see the heads of DC being super, super, super nice to the fans. Oh, man. It would have been nice if you guys wouldn't have made these political propaganda messages prior. And you can say that the media spun it or whatever. You decided to talk to the media. This is the media that you guys suck up to. You decided to talk to them. And you decided to let them spin your words and your narratives all over the place. And I think that's had a little bit of effect on the box office. Not a ton, but a little bit. Just a tad.
I think it's had very little. And the reason I say that is because I think if we were going to see that have a big impact somewhere, it would probably be here. Instead, the place that it's suffering the most is everywhere else around the world, despite the fact that you intentionally do it without the American way. You intentionally change the marketing to like the human way in terms of the merchandising and everything like that. You're in a lot of your interviews, you're kind of stepping away from that. What it means to be an American means immigrants, like things like this. Yet everywhere else around the world, the movie is suffering. Jeremy, Shazam had a better international opening weekend than Superman did.
Oof.
The first Shazam movie had a like $102 million international debut.
Wow.
Superman had around 95. Now this global opening number of 217 million, that's the number. And look, if this had been under 200, if this had been 180 or something, I think then it's like 100%. Everyone should be like massive flop incoming. This is not great news. It doesn't mean it's the complete and total death of the movie as of yet. It could have a great run, whatever, but it should be concerning because that's ahead, $30 million ahead of Captain America Brave New World, which didn't go on to do very much money. This is the thing that I can't believe there's not more people out there ringing like a panic alarm because of this. Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, a character that, people, hey, I like those little movies in the MCU or whatever. This is an Ant-Man movie. Debuted at $225 million worldwide.
more than a
225.
Superman movie. That is crazy.
Yes. And it's not exactly like it when it came out, that was Marvel at peak Marvel or anything like that
No.
either.
No.
So to me, you should be really concerned with that. You got the Batman comparison, 250 in its worldwide debut. And then I think another good one to look at is Guardians, because Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which you loved, I thought it was fine. That had a similar opening weekend domestically, like 118 million compared to Superman's 122, 123. But internationally is the kicker. It made almost twice as much internationally in its opening weekend as Superman. You can see $170 million international, $290 million globally.
And Guardians had extremely good legs, which I do not think Superman will. It remains to be seen, but I do not see Superman having the legs that something like Guardians had. Guardians was incredibly well received, and because that was at a time when the Marvel Cinematic Universe, people were finally starting to realize that the MCU kind of sucks, and the Guardians opening weekend was pretty affected by the stain that was on the MCU. But once the word of mouth got out there, this movie ended up doing almost 850, 900, whatever, when it was all said and done.
Yeah, 850, I think. I believe that this movie will have a better hold than a lot of the recent comic book movies that have come out. You know, I think it'll have a better hold than things like Thunderbolts and Brave New World and stuff like that. I do think that. And I think because there's more people that did enjoy this movie than some of those, I also think that this is a movie that families and kids probably enjoy more than something like that. Like I couldn't imagine a kid liking Thunderbolts. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that kid? Maybe they're just super depressed and want to kill themselves too. Maybe like those are the only kids. So maybe kids on hormone replacement therapy. I don't know. But I do think that Superman will have better legs than something like that. However, few and far between are these movies like Guardians that leg out like that for a comic book movie. Certainly, same director, James Gunn. But we'll see. And Fantastic Four is coming soon. And in some countries, Jurassic World Rebirth is massive competition for Superman. In Korea, in China, in a handful of places in Europe, Jurassic World beat Superman in its second weekend for Superman's opening weekend. F1 in its like fourth weekend or whatever in China beat Superman. You know? So those international numbers should be very fucking worrisome. When you're just a notch above something like Black Adam and the Flash international debuts, you should be fucking worried.
Yeah, and the spin is already out there about this, like we've talked about with the studio, but I've even seen a lot of the fans coping on it too. And it's like, if the movie doesn't do well at the box office, it doesn't change your opinion of it. It has no effect. Again, I thought Thunderbolts was okay. It was fine. I think I gave it like a 68% on critic list or whatever. Like, it was fine. Like, I had very low expectations going into that movie. I only watched it because Gary forced me to put a gun to my head and threatened me because I didn't watch anything on F.
Put a James gun to your head.
Yeah, put a James gun to my head. So, so I don't know why, like, people seem to think that they need this movie to do good at the box office for them to enjoy it, which is weird because it does seem to me that, I'm not saying everybody, okay, but I'm seeing a common theme. The people that enjoyed Superman tend to be emotionally weak men and women. That's who seems to love this movie. Just an observation I've made. And I can understand why emotionally weak men are enjoying an emotionally weak Superman. I totally get that. And of course, women are going to eat this up because it's got the stupid fucking crypto dog in it. That's all that's for. That's what I'm seeing from this movie right now. And so those same people need the box office to reflect their feelings. We need the box office to confirm my feelings, because if the box office is a flop, how can I justify liking this movie? It's weird.
It's like, look, I really like, not as much as, you know, some of the previous installments, but I really enjoyed Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, and Final Reckoning, probably more than a lot of other people in our space did. Ultimately, every time I talk about those movies, I have to bring up the fact that the budget is completely and totally fucking out of control. And regardless of what excuse for COVID or whatever, like, the money is the money. I can like it, I can enjoy it, but it lost them hundreds of millions of dollars with the massive budget that they had for it. It's just reality. It doesn't affect how I enjoy the movie. And ultimately, I don't I don't care that Jeremy really hated it. I don't care if anybody else loves it. It is what it is. It's our opinions, or our opinions for a reason. But yeah, one of the weird things has been the whole it beat Man of Steel. That was a lie that fucking is just circulating everywhere in the aftermath of this.
Yeah, because Man of Steel did 128, right?
Yes. So, and it has a lot to do with people either intentionally or unintentionally putting the news out there. And it's all about how the box office is different now than it was 12 years ago. But, 123 million is what it got called by the trades. I think Warner Brothers called 122. Maybe we'll get an update of what the actual numbers are during this stream. I don't know. But that's all it took. 123, best opening for a Superman movie, ahead of Man of Steel. James Gunn's Superman, best opening for a Superman, first franchise installment, ahead of Man of Steel. And the reason there's so much focus on this is because it's part of the narrative, right? You made a decision to move away from what was planned for that universe. You tried to go this way and that way and this way and that way, and ultimately you settled on full reboot. James Gunn's in control. It is an important number for perspective and for like comparison. It's an important number for them publicly to hit, is higher than Man of Steel, because there's going to be a lot of backlash if you don't.
And I'm sorry, but the marketing for Man of Steel is some of the best marketing I've ever seen for a movie. I still say that the Man of Steel trailers are the best trailers ever. Trailer 3 in particular is a masterpiece. And so you had that incredible marketing campaign with Man of Steel, and it did okay. Opening weekend, it did fine, but the word of mouth wasn't strong for Man of Steel. It had a huge drop second week, all of that. I didn't like Man of Steel, but Man of Steel is a better movie than Superman 25. I'll stand by that. I don't even think it's close, to be honest. I think Man of Steel is far superior to Superman 25, actually. But
Zack Snyder lover, Jeremy.
Of course, big Snyder bro here. Even Piers Morgan said it, even though he said Sniper bro. Did you hear it? Like,
I didn't know.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, Jeremy from Geeks and Games, Sniper bro. That's what Piers said. But the word of mouth wasn't incredibly strong for Man of Steel. And I feel that the word of mouth is similar with Superman 25. However, the positivity that was out there from the Snyder fans was stronger, in my opinion, than that of the Superman 25 situation. So I think it's a great baseline to look at, and things are not looking good for this movie, especially with Fantastic Four coming out in a week and a half now. That's going to get the normies that like comic book movies as well. I think Fantastic Four looks pretty normie friendly for the most part. You have the most fascinating and successful leading man in the history of Hollywood, Pedro Pascal, leading the film. But overall, I had not seen the final trailer for Fantastic Four. That a lot of you guys said like it was a pretty good trailer, so I did see it when I saw Superman, and it was a pretty good trailer. So I think they've got a week and a half, and I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it.
Yeah, and the reason that this is just like a lie, I'm not even talking about adjusted for inflation. I'm not talking about taking ticket prices into account, which I do think that those things are important for reference and things like that. I'm just talking about straight up. Man of Steel made $128 million in its opening weekend. And the reason, if you Google it or if something like that, it'll come up as like 116, is all about how we reported the Thursday previews back when they started doing Thursday previews. There's Man of Steel. Again, you can see made more internationally than domestically. I think that could be important in the long run here too. You look at that weekend box office. First weekend, $116 million, but the total gross after that was 128. Why is that? Because when they first started doing some of these Thursday previews, not all studios, not all movies counted the Thursday preview as part of their opening weekend number. Now it's commonplace. Now that happens every fucking time. Even if you do previews on Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever, they count that number in towards the opening weekend number like they did for Superman. Now they actually count that number in with what their opening day is. So you look at Superman 2025, just so everyone can see what this is, $22.5 million in previews. That then gets combined and added to the pure Friday opening day, which is around like 34 million, to get your $56 million Friday. And then you get your Saturday, then you get your Sunday for 122 million. Man of Steel, 116 million if you don't count the Thursday preview. Yeah, that is 128. So that's the thing. It did not actually beat Man of Steel, not adjusted for inflation.
Boom.
And those are just important reference points. And it's weird that every single DCU Superman news, DCU hype, they repeat the same things and people fall for them because it takes a little bit of knowledge and maybe even a little bit of checking sometimes to see what's going on.
And those are the details right there. And again, as a famous Man of Steel hater, Man of Steel is better than Superman 25. It is. And guess what else is better? Superman Returns is better as well. It just is. It's a better Superman movie. It's not even I don't even think this is a discussion, dude. I think these movies are so much better than Superman 25. Like, I don't even think it's close. Like, as a matter of fact, you can go over to like so I've got the critic list score because I think this is the most accurate place so you can get a feel for it. So I gave it a 30%. I gave it 30%. The overall audience score is at a 54%. So that's 187 votes. Now, again, to be clear, how critic list combines their score is different than Rotten Tomatoes. 54% is an average. So that means that the average score is a 54 out of 100. That's the average score that the users have given, 54%. And
like for reference on Rotten Tomatoes, say if every single person, all these 187 people, if they were actually giving it a 6, right? So we can actually like put it above that threshold. So there's no decimals. If they gave it a 6, it would be 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I haven't looked it up, but I'd like to see what, in comparison to the other Superman movies, what they are. So like Man of Steel and all of that. I've got to here search Man of Steel, which I think I gave like a 40% on this site.
Wow, big one.
Yeah,
that's basically what I gave this movie, like right around there.
Man of Steel has a 67% on critic lists. There you go. So 67%. And then what does Superman Returns have? Do you have a guess for what Superman Returns has on critic lists?
48.
Superman Returns has a, look at there, 58%. Wow. 58% over there on critic list. So you guys should check it out over there. You'll enjoy it. And the more people we get signed up over there, the better it's going to be to have these it kind of resembles a true score instead of like, you know, the bullshit with the shills. Dude, the amount of people that were flown out to review Superman 28 or 25 and that just praised it. So I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy for saying this movie's a piece of shit. Okay, I'm spreading toxicity and hate. Yet you got dumb motherfuckers saying this is better than Christopher Reeve's Superman, and apparently that's okay. It's okay to be overly ridiculously positive saying this movie's better than Christopher Reeve's Superman. First of all, you are a fucking retard if you're saying that. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But apparently it's okay to say dumb shit like that, but you can't say it's a piece of shit. You're being too toxic. Fuck you. Sorry,
yeah,
Ryan. I know you try to keep the show positive when I'm not here. I apologize, Ryan.
Always, you know, me and Jay, it's always incredibly positive. You do hate the movie, even though our scores aren't that far off. You have a lot of disdain for the fucking movie. I guess more so than I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately we'll see what happens. Like the next couple days and the next weekend are going to be very important for Superman at the box office. This is not a $220 million opening global. That means it's a guaranteed fucking bomb right now. What it should be is very concerning because certainly you could have a great hold. You could have a great hold that could take off. It could do super well. A bunch of people, repeat viewings, like all that stuff. But when your movie opens less than Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, a notable massive fucking failure. When your movie opens lower than that, I feel like there should be more reality checks surrounding what that opening actually means. And you can make all the excuses you want about, well, it's a reboot of the new franchise. Like, okay, so is this back in the day. Well, it's you know, they didn't really spend that money that they signed up. Really? So we give all these other people, we don't give all Disney and even Warner Brothers when they do it for the Flash, we don't give them passes for the lying about the budgets and trying to manipulate things and telling people, we promise if it hits $500 million, it'll totally be fine, bro. No problem. Like, we don't give all these other movies passes, even if we like them, like Mission Impossible. But for this one, there seems to be, it's Superman, man. It's DC. People are very passionate about these characters. They always have been. They always will be. And that's a good thing. That's fandom. But
I need my favorite movie to make money to confirm my feelings on the movie. That's essentially where we're at with it. And by the way, for people that are upset for me saying that, you know, Superman 25 is for emotionally weak men and women, I liked Wicked. Okay, it's not a big deal, guys. Okay, you can just talk shit back to me.
I liked Wicked too.
Wicked is 10 times better than Superman 25, by the way.
The way I look at it is like, depending on what type of movie you're going to, everybody has different expectations for it. For a person like just general audience member, fairly normie, whatever, you might walk into a comic book movie and your hope to get out of that is just a little bit of lightheartedness, some cool action shit, and, you know, just eat your popcorn and have fun. For me, like, I care about like the character of Superman. I care about DC Comics more than I care about Marvel. I have like a slightly different expectation and of what I'm asking for and what I want out of a comic book movie. Because I think Superman is a better movie all in all than Jurassic World Rebirth. But I enjoyed Jurassic World Rebirth a lot more because now at the 7th point in this franchise where it's just turned into MonsterVerse, like Godzilla vs. Kong type of movies where the people don't even fucking matter and they put no effort into making these people actual characters or caring about anything like that. I had much lower expectations going into it. And it pretty much was like, yeah, this is what I expected. Like, those things are all going to affect how you feel about movies.
Yeah. Somebody said I should stream with Midnight's Edge, Tom. I actually was thinking about it, but I got another invite to Piers Morgan. So that's a little more important to me. So sorry, Tom. I'm going back on Piers Morgan. You're not important enough.
Well, there you go. Neither am I. Alex McCarthy for 2. It's Monjay with no J. Meta PC code RK Outpost or 199. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, Jay, I don't know when he'll be back. He's not going to be here tomorrow.
He's too important.
Yeah, he's
big deal.
Going to Canada, getting shown around places, stuff like that. He's up there with Cole Hauser. So, Young Stav, Pedro makes Jeremy look straight and Chad. Oof. Chris Cran, Ryan, and Jeremy, keeping it nice for the kids.
We try.
Andre CR went to Superman over the weekend. Nice fanfic. Do you guys know when the real Superman movie drops?
It dropped in 1978.
Dutch Moon Tent for 199. The twins are 2 hood knee guys. Thank you, John Campia. Shadow saying, why did you say that name? Where's the dog?
Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger?
Yeah.
God, it's such a bad scene, dude. It's so bad.
Nicholas, Superman not saving his dad from a tornado is far worse. Unforgivable.
You know what?
We're not going to get into that here because we don't have enough time. I have my take on that. You have your take on it. Jeremy has his take on it. I will say, Pa Kent sacrificing himself so that his son doesn't have to reveal himself to the world yet, to me, is less egregious than Jor-El telling his son to go conquer the stupid retards of Earth, basically enslave them, fuck all their women, and spread your superior Kryptonian seed. I'm just saying, you can hate
We're on
one,
the same page. We're on the same
I'm
page.
just
Me
saying.
and you are. Me and you are on the same page. The Jor-El stuff is worse than Superman 25. It's worse.
Yeah, and he's like, James Gunn's like, the reason I cast Bradley Cooper for Jor-El is I needed someone who could embody like the spirit of such an important character and like take Marlon Brando's performance and really show people something that's that impactful. And it's like, bro, what? Like, are we kidding?
And I don't buy the retcon bullshit when they retcon this in the next movie. No, 100% bullshit.
They do, it wasn't planned. That's 100% people coping over it.
Yes, that's 1,000% what that is. There is no way. You had your chance in the movie. I felt like, okay, I mean, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out Lex doctored this. We're gonna find out. Nope. Nope. They confirmed it multiple times in the movie that it was legit.
You could have even done with the Supergirl shit at the end, like instead of it just being played as she's drunk party girl, whatever. Instead of being played as that, she could have returned and maybe she was a drunk party girl, or whatever. And Clark, instead of just Crypto going and her leaving, him like updating her what the fuck just happened and like what he found out about his parents, and she'd be like, "That's not true, Clark. Like, what are you talking about?" And she could have had it maybe access to the message or like something that was given, like something, and then she could have revealed what the real end of the message was at some point, you know?
Mhm.
And that could have been a fucking great way to end the movie. But no.
Instead, she calls him a bitch, and she leaves.
Is he a bitch?
Just like everybody else. Treated him like shit like everybody else.
We talked about this too. I actually, there's a version of this movie where I have no issue with her calling him a bitch. But the reason that it doesn't play off as very funny is because everyone else treats him kind of like that.
Yes.
So if everyone else treated Superman with the respect we feel Superman deserves throughout the movie, if his fucking young, young 20-year-old college age cousin comes back into town and is like, "Oh, fuck off, bitch." Like that could play as funny because she, who's related to him and shit like that, isn't, and she's Kryptonian too, isn't respecting him the same way everybody. That could 100% play funny. It didn't play funny to me in the movie.
Nope. Not at all.
CJ, when do you think studios will stop with the Gen Z Taika Waititi style tension breaking humor? That's the one thing I'm completely sick of.
Well, I mean, if movies like this continue to underperform, that's the best way to get away from that. So market determines the market. So we will see.
Black Mage for 5. The Superman yelling at Lois was bad without context. With context, it's bad. If Superman gets triggered over super shit, he wouldn't last a day in a Call of Duty lobby.
Exactly, dude. The fact that he got triggered multiple times over super shit in the movie is fucking insane, dude.
It is kind of wild.
Over
on the Rumble side, Unicycle Peon with the $50 Rumble rant. Shout out to Unicycle Peon. Speaking of toxic, it's good to see you two bitches back on the show together. But not in the Superman's a bitch way, in the bro way. Great chemistry.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Unicycle Peon. Derek PG Beller, for one. Surprised Superman's box office isn't much better. Watch a full IMAX theater. That hasn't happened in years. Last several MCU movies I saw were mostly empty theaters opening weekend. It's doing, like, it got all the IMAX screens and is doing very well in those IMAX screens. But in comparison to everything else and all the other showings, not necessarily pulling a ton of people in. Had competition with Jurassic World Rebirth all across the world, and it's got another week before it has competition from Fantastic Four. We had one more. B. Barrett for 2. At least Superman didn't have everyone calling him retarded inbred fig every day. Things could always be worse.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, Superman couldn't even handle a fucking Geeks and Gamers stream.
It's true.
Oh yeah, they're calling me names again. God, jeez,
that would be rough. And then you just become a punching bag.
Yeah, good lord.
Jack Allen for 5. Predator handshake meme. Henry Cavill, David Cornsweet. Great casting, good performance, terrible script.
Yeah, I don't think Cornsweet's a bad casting at all. I think he's a pretty good casting. I think Cavill's still better casting by far, but I don't think Cornsweet's bad. Brandon Routh was a great casting too. They've all had good casting.
I actually, one thing that I do have really enjoyed from the entire like marketing debut and like all this stuff is I really like David Cornsweet. I like his interviews. Yep. I like what he talks about. I like that he's a massive Star Wars fan. I like that he's kind of a nerd in some ways. I really like him as a person. And I wish that I wish I would have loved his Superman. I just really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a likable dude. So they got that's one thing that they have consistently done right. Every Superman movie has gotten the casting of Superman pretty spot on. Would you disagree? Like everyone, none of them lives up to the King, Christopher Reeve, but they're all really good.
I agree.
Yeah, they're all really good.
There's Superman probably has more dialogue in the first 15 minutes of this movie than Brandon Routh has in a 2.5 hour Superman Returns.
That is true. That is true.
Ministry of Wrong Thing. Rev defended lolly anime once. Non-sexual. That's why. Okay. I don't know anything
about that.
I don't know anything about this entire situation. Hayden Wayne for 20. Strangely enough, the same people that went after Kirsha and her GameSups partnership are all buzzing around this. Anna Valen's vice journal included. One could think they had something to do with it, but no evidence.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really disappointing. Makeshift's getting caught up in cancel culture bullshit now.
No idea. Mexa Rage for 5. Watched F1 finally with family. We all loved it. For some reason, we want to rewatch Speed Racer again. Very underrated. I never watched that Speed Racer movie that came out.
I haven't either. I really want to see F1 and yeah, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I was supposed to go see it like last week, and then I ended up streaming like all night, like until like 9 o'clock in the morning that night. And that was the day I had tickets to see that and Jurassic Park. So I'd rather go see F1 than Jurassic Park or Jurassic World.
Ninroku for $1. Netflix announced over 50% of their users watch anime. If there's ever been a time for G&G to cover anime, maybe just Shonen, I think it'd be now.
It is true. I saw that report. Over 50% of the households are watch anime, which is crazy. But anime's huge, man. You got that new show out that Krista keeps talking about, that new movie that Krista keeps talking about, K-pop Demon Hunters, and everybody's going crazy over that movie. It's been like number 1 on Netflix for the past like week, and everybody's going crazy over that one.
I mean, if Krista loves it, I probably won't. That's like basically everything in life. So like that's just in general, we're a little bit different, slightly different people. So she loves it. Probably shouldn't waste my time. Would Cavill be a better Soups for this movie?
I don't think it would have mattered. It probably would have been worse if Cavill's getting treated like that. You're like, okay, this is stupid.
Ask Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer, how dogs can recognize who's the pack leader. If a dog doesn't listen to a person, that person is not pack leader. Isn't that dude completely full of shit, though?
Who? The dog whisperer?
That fucking Mexican dog whisperer guy. I got exposed for some random shit. I don't know.
I don't even know who he is.
Ministry of Wrong Thing for 10. I'd be willing to let the disrespect of Superman in his movie slide if the movie existed in a vacuum and said it's a microcosm of a prevalent agenda to tear down straight white male role models.
Yeah. I mean, again, the movie is not woke, in my opinion. Does it have small woke elements? Sure. But it's not a woke movie. It's just not. So
yeah, I suppose it depends on what you think that is. I saw some people that are like, wow, the black guy is really good in this. And you're saying it's not woke. It's like, well, come on. Like, what are we doing at some points, you know? Tobias for 10. Well, Northern California is burning again. The green fire currently at 11,766 acres and climbing with 5% containment. The smoke here is like fog and firefighting forces can't reach most of it.
Damn.
Sorry to hear that, Tobias. That is
between wildfires and flooding. Things are crazy.
Yearly occurrence, unfortunately. And before anyone can say it, as much as I've heard go to hell furry, pretty sure hell has better air quality over here right now. Well, try it out, I guess. But thank you, Tobias. We never tell you to go to hell. I mean, me and Jeremy, maybe the rest of the chat, maybe. Razor Hammond, I love the movie. So did my wife's boyfriend. Thank you.
Congrats.
80 the Demon Slayer. Is he? Oh, you're supposed to say this.
Oh, is he gonna be okay? Let Jeremy say it. Oh, I didn't know.
I can't.
Yeah. Look, that was such a gay scene. And it represents the all the men that are fucking weak in this movie. But he's like, he's gonna be okay. Random woman that I don't know, he's gonna be okay. Tell me my boy's gonna be okay. Good Lord, fuck off. He didn't know who the fuck she was. He knew nothing. He's so stupid. He's like, okay, who the fuck are you and what happened? Any man in that situation isn't going to cower and ask the stranger in your fucking house if your son, your superpowered fucking son is okay. You're going to be like, okay, what happened and who are you? Why the fuck are you in my house? No. He's just going to cry and go, my boy going to be okay. I gotta go watch NASCAR. My boy gonna be okay. Fucking retarded scene, dude.
They should have had a scene where he tried to Google Kryptonian genetics or something to figure out if he was going to be all right, but he couldn't figure out how to use the phone. I really did like the scene, the one that was in the trailer, with him on the bench talking to Clark.
That was a good scene. That was a good
I thought
scene.
it was a great scene.
It was a good scene.
And I wish that we would have had a little bit more actual shit from people. I wish we would have had more Lois actually talking to Clark in this. They had 2 conversations. Yeah. Clark had 1 scene as Clark Kent, basically.
I too appreciate when Superman sits down and talks to his dad that looks exactly like Harvey Weinstein. I too appreciate these moments.
There you go. Minutes You're Wrong thing. What was the average ticket price when Man of Steel came out? 2013, probably somewhere around the $7 to $8 average ticket price. Would be my guesstimate. 8.5, maybe. Certainly a lot lower than today.
Hey, the biggest fan of Superman 25 is here. Yellow Flash. Well, second. He's second to Tom.
Yellow Flash is here.
Yellow Flash is here.
I had to check Yellow Flash the other day.
What?
Not about Superman, but he said he couldn't tell a difference between Coke Zero and Diet Coke. And I was like, I can. Hold the fuck. I can tell a difference.
I mean, I'm not gay. I don't drink diet fucking soda. So
I don't either.
Or zero fucking calorie.
Zero.
Drink Mountain or zero calorie bullshit. It's a fucking marketing scheme anyway. You either drink soda or you don't. Like
it's a marketing scheme.
Yeah, they're just making you like it's just
like there's hold on. You would be saying that there's actually, if it's a marketing scheme, are you saying that the big reveal is that Coke Zero actually has sugar in it and it's actually not like 0 calories or whatever?
I'm saying soda's not good for you, period. Okay. So if you're going to drink it, go all in and drink the worst shit. All right. Either that or stop like I did and drink water. But to drink like it's like the fucking ploy to make people wear a back brace at work because it makes you think that, oh, you can do more with the back brace. No, you're actually doing just more damage at that point in time. When you're wearing a back brace and you pick stuff up, you're actually doing more damage because it gives you a false sense of security. If you need to stop drinking soda, then stop drinking soda. Don't start drinking diet soda or 0 calories. Just stop drinking fucking soda.
Now, I'm a big proponent of drinking zero, of like Coke Zero, Mountain Dew Zero, stuff like that. You still get your caffeine. You still get mostly the taste. Because sometimes, like when you're eating something, you don't want, like, water gets fucking old. I drink like a marketing
scheme.
Of water a day.
It's a marketing scheme for when people find out how shitty soda is for you, and then the fucking companies goes, they're gonna find out that this shit's terrible for them. So let's come out with a healthier version so that they'll still give us fucking money, but still drink our dog shit. It's a fucking marketing scheme.
People that are like, well, you know, the artificial sweetener's worse for you than sugar. You're fucking retarded. Like, aspartame, you would have to drink like a 36-pack of Coke a day for fucking weeks, but like to actually feel any like negative effects of that level of aspartame.
I need you to do that every stream. What you just did is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so fucking wild. Like, I'm a big proponent of if you want to have a Coke or you want to have a Mountain or whatever, do the 0 sugar one. Have that for your 1 a day, maybe even 2 a day, whatever. You'll be perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I wanted to argue with you, but after you did that, I'm just laughing. That shit was amazing.
But I just hate that because there are people who think that it's like, you know, like that can give you a high risk for cancer or whatever. It's like, do you have any idea the levels that you would have to drink of that to that like be feasible? You're talking about probably like 40 fucking levels of drinking soda like repeatedly for weeks on end to feel the negative side effects of that.
Holy fuck. That was amazing. That's going to get clipped out. That's going to be our newest meme around here.
Can't wait. See, look at this fucking idiot. Artificial sweeteners are more dangerous than sugar.
Oh shit.
Yes, if you drink it in like, if you drink a pool, if you fill like a fucking pool full of that and you drink that like on a constant basis, yes, it can be bad for you.
Fuck.
Phil McCracken for 5. Pierce is British. His opinion's invalid. Pam Bondi's critics on Superman mean nothing. He supports Jeremy Bondi's critiques on Superman mean nothing. He supports WWE Evolution.
Oh man. Whew.
James Daniel, hey guys, see Angry Joe's latest video? I could just stop you there. The answer is no. Partially blaming Superman's international numbers on Trump. Thought?
Listen, if you would have told me 10 years ago that Angry Joe would be my reply guy on Twitter, I would have called you crazy. This is where we are. He's my reply guy on Twitter now. It's amazing. So Joe is Joe. Joe has his TDS. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
Alex MacArthur for 2. Cobra Outpost cast meta PC code Arcade Outposter 199. Thanks, Alex. Stephen McBride for 2. Fuck you, Jeremy. Corn Sweat beats the F out of Reeve.
Okay. Sure.
Chief Luke for 2. Why does Jay seem gayer today? He went to Canada. Master Austin, we all wanted Superman to be good, yet all they hear is our negativity.
Yep.
Guys, the new Harry Potter looks like former SNL cast member Rachel Dratch. She looks like a man, but I mean that release has been out there for forever, but I have not seen I haven't seen a picture of him that looks similar to Rachel Dratch, but
what is this?
Chimera for 2. Gun glazers are so toxic.
What is this? Is that what they're talking about?
Potentially.
Oh my God. Is this like a new pic? That's got to be AI generated. That can't be real.
It looks a little AI.
Yeah.
I know they're starting to film, but
oh no.
You know.
First look. Well, you're a wizard, Harry. There you go. Listen, I'm not
AI generated. That's real.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it just looks absolutely horrific or something?
It just looks weird, but I'm not a Harry Potter person, so I mean, I'm sure if we saw pictures of Daniel Radcliffe today, you know, the internet would go fucking crazy and rip it apart too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Are these kids? You know, whatever. So
I think it looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. So
I don't feel the need to. I think this 10-year-old looks perfectly fine. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter person per se, but I guess it's okay. I guess. I don't know. I have no faith in the series, but I'm not a Harry Potter person. Ryan is. Ryan's an expert on Harry Potter.
Yeah. I would consider myself somewhat of an expert. Corn Pop. Jeremy is literally gay. He watches Wicked.
Wicked's a great movie.
Slow Dough goes mobile because he didn't know it was Gary for 5. The WWE Women's PPV last night might be the best pay-per-view we watched on locals. All those hot women cooked harder than expected.
Yeah, if you're interested, cover WWE over there and play a lot of Mario Kart. So,
Yanks fan, did Man of Steel get more streams over the weekend because of Gunn's crappy movie?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watched the Man of Steel. I went home immediately after seeing Superman 25 and watched Man of Steel, and I never thought that was going to happen.
I would imagine a lot of the Superman stuff did get more play on streaming services after it, either before people watching it before they went in or after. I know I watched Superman Returns because I hadn't seen that in forever. And then I proceeded to watch a bunch of the DC animated, like Superman focused stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those I love, some of them, you know, okay, but yeah, I was just in a mood for something else after James Gunn's Superman. Jeremy, you should look into a Wicked themed Miata for future car video. Sir Lance Alato for 5. I remember liking TLJ when it came out. Then I went to rehab. Then I found G&G and Nerdrotic, my people. Wow, I'm glad rehab helped clear your mind there. C Black for 199. F4 will be a better movie than Superman.
I would put money on it.
You think so?
I absolutely
think more at the box office. Would you put money on that?
I still think Fantastic Four is going to do more at the box office than Man of Steel. I do. I'm sorry, of Superman 25. I do. It's going to be close though, but I do think Fantastic Four is going to be a better movie.
Well, we've got a Fantastic Four topic because obviously there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding this, especially with female Silver Surfer, with the cast of Pedro Pascal, like all of those things. It has not been without controversy when it comes to Fantastic Four. And this is another, very famous superhero team that's been around for a very long time. We've had a couple movie adaptations. One received a little bit better than the other, certainly. But this movie is out in just a couple weeks, and it will be some primary competition for Superman. Another one of these big movies releasing in July: Jurassic, Superman, and of course, Fantastic Four. And Julia Garner's finally addressing some of the backlash surrounding the casting of her character, female Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four, Julia Garner responds to female Silver Surfer backlash. Now, Jimmy, when you see a headline like that, what do you think ultimately is going to be the takeaway?
Oh, there's a ton of sexism and toxic males and all of that that are just really hating on this female lead in this movie.
Well, luckily, that was not the answer that Julia Garner gave. Easily could have turned into something like that. We know we see bait questions and stuff from the media all the time. Well, this is what she said instead. She was asked about her initial reaction to the role. Garner said she had two, like the backlash to the role and stuff like that. The first one is like, I'm still just going to do my job. And also it's shallow balls, so it's different. And then the second reaction I had to the backlash, was just, I'm happy that people are resonating with it. And it's just like any other project. So I'm just grateful to be at this dance, to be completely honest with you. And the way the question was phrased, it was a lot like, there's been a lot of backlash, but there's some people that love the character, blah, blah, blah. I think that is what should be the standard for these people to go out there when you're asked about people hating it and all these men that hate your movies because you're a woman, it's a gender swap role, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, look, I'm going to do my job. I'm happy to be here. I hope people like it. Like that kind of boilerplate level bullshit should be the standard instead of what it has been in the industry for the past couple of years.
I agree. It's a I won't say it's a perfect answer, but it's a really good answer. It's a really good answer. And this is what we've seen time and time again, that the media is the enemy of the people. We saw that with the Variety reporter that asked all those loaded questions of, the Superman 25 cast. And he's done that time and time again. What's that guy's name?
Mark Malkin.
Yeah, that I was going to say something else. Anyway, that guy. And so this is a
you
perfect
can't call
way.
him that word.
But yeah, this is a good answer. And the problem is that I don't think this is going to be the standard answer from people surrounding this movie, namely Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal is probably going to make a political statement between now and the release of this movie at some point with the press tour going on.
He's constantly out there. Every single one he's talking
yeah.
about trans shit.
Yes.
Every single one he's talking about all that shit.
Yep, he is the worst. And so I'm sure that there's going to be something. I hope someone asks him about Alligator Alcatraz. I just really want him to go on a rant about Alligator Alcatraz. But yeah, in terms of this answer, there's nothing to criticize here. This is the answer that if we were getting these answers from the majority of Hollywood people, you'd have a lot less fan backlash going on prior to movies coming out. It doesn't mean you won't have them after movies come out, but this was an alley-oop for her to dunk on fans, and she didn't do it. So it's a good answer.
Yeah. Now, it is funny, the part where she's like, well, it's shallow balls, so it's different, right? Not like a gender swap, whatever. The thing is, Julia Garner's initial response, you remember this, Jeremy? Julia Garner recalls gender swap Fantastic Four offer. Wait, isn't the Silver Surfer a man? All played it. Yeah, so she knew, she, like everybody else, knows that Silver Surfer is a man. And yes, shallow ball exists in like one or two what if comic book runs, blah, 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 as opposed to the thousands and thousands of stories that Silver Surfer is actually involved in, nor in Rad. But yes, that could have been a disaster in the making. That could have resulted in a million different fucking videos for 2 weeks. Instead, I think it's an example of a good response and not getting sucked into something like that.
Yeah, and as Ryan said, I mean, when people say, "Oh, you guys just you do this," it's like, well, yeah, I mean, of course. Why wouldn't we make videos off that when these idiots run their mouths and take shots at fans? But guess what happens when they don't do it? We give them credit.
Well,
simple as that. I mean, credit where credit's due. You had an opportunity to shit on the fans. You didn't do it. And we'll see how this movie goes. I do think this movie, okay, do you think this movie grosses more than Superman 25. I think it has a chance.
My initial predictions before like all the other stuff happened was like before the movies came out, Jurassic World, I thought wouldn't quite get to $1 billion, but would be in the $900 million range. I thought Superman would make 700, and I thought Fantastic Four would make around 650. Was like my initial type of guess. Superman, I think that if it hits 700, I think that's going to be like an incredible achievement based on the opening and based on the reception so far. I think that 600 million might now be the target for Superman. As for Fantastic Four, we'll have to see. It certainly could make more than Superman. It's not going to make more than Jurassic World, but
yeah, it won't make more than Jurassic World. I was curious that Jurassic World may fall off a cliff. I felt like maybe they're at that point where, like Michael Bay's Transformers fell off a cliff. I feel like that's where Jurassic World was, but clearly not. We're not there yet.
Well, look, there are certainly diminishing returns.
Yes.
Jurassic World, $2 billion, whatever the fuck it made. Fallen Kingdom is like 1.4, 1.5. Dominion barely crossed over the $1 billion threshold. This movie's probably going to be more in like the $850, $900 million range. So there is diminishing returns.
It is, but it's consistent with the diminishment. I was just, because Transformers did fall off a cliff at some point. I can't remember which one it was, but I mean, because those were making
Mark Wahlberg one.
I think so, yeah. Because I mean, those movies were making $1 billion consistently, and then that one of them just fell off a cliff. And then Bumblebee, which was a really good Transformers movie, didn't do shit because the brand was just so damaged. So that's where I was thinking Jurassic World might end up, and it may be the next one. Who knows? But people still like their dinosaurs.
They do, and that's why I enjoyed this one more than Dominion, because they barely even gave the smallest effort to actually do any character things or establish any real motivations or like anything for the characters. It was so nothing that I was able to enjoy it because it was absent, basically. And it's just like, okay, this is just a hunting dinosaurs movie. Got it. But it wasn't good. Miss English. I'm not a Snyder fan. Man of Steel wasn't the greatest, but it was more patriotic than New Superman. Thank you, Miss English.
Agreed.
I'm from Kansas, General. That's as American as it gets. Luis Colmarane. What is this? Colmenares. Thank you, Luis, for $1. Warbreyer, you two are the Heckle and Jekyll of G&G. Thanks, Warbreyer. Storm Shadow. Jeremy, it's unrealistic. Who turns on a superhero because one video released on the news? Real life. Libs turned on Elon when he shared a stage with Trump.
That wasn't one video. So that was Elon had been building up the animosity of the left for a while. So
James Daniel. Wait, so Superman is technically a Saiyan now? Maybe. D's Webbles, Ryan should stream with Doomcock or Campia. I don't think there's too much mutual interest on either side for either of those collabs, but thanks for the recommendation, D's Webos. Samwise GG for £2. Did you guys see 28 Years Later? Thoughts?
I have not.
I did, and I was really disappointed with it because I'm not a huge zombie movie guy in general, but the trailer had me hyped. And regardless of what you think about the movie itself, it is not the trailer. And some people love the direction they took the story. I was one of the people that really didn't like the direction they chose. And I think when you look at the box office results, have been very underwhelming for them. Obviously, we're not talking about a $200 million budget movie. We're talking about something that's like maybe 50 million. But I think they expected to have a bigger and a better run than it did. And it's really slowed down. I think that's going to make like $130 million worldwide, something like that, maybe. But there is a sequel coming out in January. Angst Kitten, is Jeremy returning tomorrow, or do we get a new special guest?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
You'll have to tune in to find out. Emphasis on special when it comes to Jeremy. Glenn Fancher. It's possible to make Superman that grandkids and grandparents would love. It was 78 Superman. Gunn either can't or won't, probably both, make a movie with that level of storytelling and appeal.
Yeah, it's Superman 78's magic. So magic, but Reeve makes it magic.
Irish Skywalker. I got trolled on FNT of all places by some extreme homo. Guess saying something positive about Beardo turns people gay. Seek help, gay boy. Hail Ryan, Jeremy, and to piss off my fan, hail Beardo. Well, I think Irish Skywalker. Yeah. I don't know if saying something positive about Beardo turns people gay or if people think saying something positive about Beardo is gay. It's like, you know, where's the line here? But yes, you did get pretty massively trolled over it, and like nobody understood what was going on. Red Mage 13 for 20. For some reason, I remember Jeremy in one stream like a year or two ago making the analogy of Superman not saving his dad to sucking cock.
Yeah, it wasn't even a year or two ago. It was pretty recent. Basically, my point was there are definitive moments that do not, like, you can't overlook Superman not saving his dad. Like that is the most non-Superman thing ever. Like and people like Beardo and Mike were like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, no, it's literally everything that Superman is that represents the opposite. So it'd be the equivalent of like, well, if he sucked a dick, would you be happy with it? Because that's not something Superman would do either. So that's the point. Like him letting his dad die.
That is kind
terrible.
of a wild comparison.
It's terrible.
Here are I understand why people have the criticisms. I think one thing that gets lost in this is that Superman's like fucking 16 years old at the time. This is not a Superman who's been testing his skills and doing super speed and flying and any of that shit. The way I view this scene is not so much as Superman letting his dad die. It is Superman's father sacrificing himself because he knows that when his son finally reveals himself to the world, it's going to be a chaotic nightmare for him. And he's very scared about that for his son. And he's willing to sacrifice himself because he doesn't want him to be the reason that his son is forced to reveal himself to the world. That's the way I view it. And I understand why people don't like it.
So we're
but
basically
for me, that's why I'm not like outraged by it.
We're establishing that in the random human life, Superman's anonymity is more important than a random human life. That's what we're establishing, correct?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is his dad made the decision to sacrifice himself.
Right.
Because he valued his son's life living, right? Because one of the things about those movies is Kevin Costner, as like very conflicted as he is and worried about his son and what's going to happen when he reveals himself to the world, he is right to be concerned because of all the things that end up happening after he's revealed. And like that to me is the reason that he doesn't want to be saved.
If you care about your son, you probably shouldn't let your son live the rest of his life with the trauma that he literally watched you die when he could have saved you. So maybe I hear you. So maybe don't put yourself. So maybe don't put yourself in the situation, because if Superman, if he's the most important thing in the entire world, he chose to do that.
Don't put yourself in the situation as the writer of a movie. Like
Pa Kent shouldn't put himself in this situation because it's inconsistent with what he's trying to build up. You need to be a father. Everybody else got away. Everybody else ran away.
He's trying to get the dog.
Okay. Well, what's more important, the fucking dog or Superman? Superman needs his dad.
You could say have the writers don't put themselves in that situation, but the idea that you shouldn't put yourself in that situation is somebody who's like trying to do the right thing.
It's based on, if you're telling me that Superman shouldn't save his dad because he needs to remain, unknown to the world, then maybe don't put yourself in the situation where your son has to save you. Be smarter than the situation.
I think that's kind of crazy.
Having your son carry that trauma for the rest of his life is fucking insane. Like, no, son, no, super powerful son, don't save me. Just go live the rest of your fucked up life knowing that you could have saved me, but I'm dead because of you. It's fucking insane.
The way I get what you're saying, and a lot of people have huge problems with the scene, and I'm not going to deny it. I see it as a father protecting his son.
I see it as a father giving his son trauma for the rest of his fucking life.
I see it is a father who is willing to sacrifice his life to protect his son so that he is not exposed to the world before he feels like he's ready. That's the way I see it, and that's why I don't have a massive problem with it.
Yeah, I hate it.
But anyway, I said we weren't going to even talk about it. So Superman's an immigrant story. Does that mean Venom's an immigrant story and the Xenomorph and the upcoming Alien Earth is an immigrant too? For your immigrant story, I don't know if the thing should have been he was sent here to conquer the world and fucking breed humans out of existence. That's a little on the nose. Maybe the story's actually based. Maybe we were wrong the whole time. Corn Pop, let's have a Wicked watch party.
I'm down.
We can do that for Wicked too.
Part 2's coming out soon.
Lou Brado for 5. If Superman found his parents were evil, why would he keep using the crest of his house on his chest? I don't know. That'll be answered in the next movie. Pie Wacket, would you consider doing a local stream of F1 in Austin or Las Vegas? I probably wouldn't, but I don't know if anybody watches F1.
I mean, I used to watch F1 back in the day. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Black Solid Snake moaned, left my eyelids at home for this movie and still fell asleep. Sir Hat, just switched from soda to Monster Zero Ultra. Why Monster?
This is a weird comment in a Geeks and Gamers stream.
What is it?
This is a weird comment. I agree with Ryan's interpretation of the scene, but Jeremy's argument is very solid and valid, and I completely understand where he's coming from. Usually it's like, Ryan is right, fuck you, Jeremy, or fuck you, Jeremy's right, fuck you, Ryan, you're retarded,
Yeah, the idea of Jeremy's argument is very strong and like well incorporated and cohesive, like all these things. That's usually not what it is. But I do think that your argument for this specific is like a very valid argument, and it's one that a lot of people feel. I feel like I'm in the minority when it comes to like how I view the sequence and why I don't have a problem with it. So it's not the end of the world to me.
I just think, and I know you agree with this, so I'm not saying you disagree with what I'm about to say, but like, I just think the most important job in the world is being a good parent to your, and the only way you can be a good parent is to be alive. Like that's the best way to be a good parent, is to be alive.
It's obviously like such a crazy like hypothetical, and it would be tough to come up with a comparison. But if you were willing to die, all parents, we'd all be willing to die for our kids.
Yes,
like to save their lives or whatever. It becomes this different question if you're asked, well, what if you by sacrificing yourself? Yes, you're not gonna, because that would be the same in any situation, right? If you were willing to put your life on the line to save your child would have maybe witnessed you die in front of them or known that was the case and lived with the fact that your parents sacrificed themselves for you. Like that's going to be the case in any situation where a parent sacrifices themselves for their child. It becomes a different story when we're talking about not their life, but what it would cause to happen in their life and the chaos that would happen and the pressures, like all of these things that would happen in someone's life. It's really impossible to come up with a real world hypothetical of what he's trying to prevent there, but I don't know.
Yeah, it really, like, if Clark is just your average person, then that's fine, but like he literally has superpowers, so he literally could save him. Like he has super speed, he could have saved him in that moment. So it's like I think he carries the trauma for the rest of his life going, I could have saved him, I could have,
yeah. I mean, a normal person would walk around like I said, if you were to sacrifice yourself for your child in some random situation, your child would also have to live the rest of their life knowing that they died to save me, type of thing. That would happen in any case where a parent puts their life on the line to save their child. There's going to be some sense of guilt and everything that you do have to live with from that.
Yeah.
All right.
But we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm fucking done with it. Jesus Christ. Why is Jeremy mocking his parents? Ryan, straighten. Wait, wrong word. Ryan, correct Jeremy. Jeremy, be better unless they. Morning, guys.
What's up, Roland?
River Miles. That was a Beardo 9.9 Ryan rant. Thank you. I'll happily drink my Mountain Dew Code Red daily. My body, my choice, right? It is.
Damn right.
I'm not gonna shit on anybody for fucking wanting to drink as much Mountain Dew and fucking Coke as you can. You are responsible for your own decisions. But I don't like the bad rap that fucking zero sugar sodas get. Speaking of Derek PG Baylor, for one, over on Rumble, Ryan's 100% correct about aspartame. It's been shown safe in many, many studies. Those in the chat saying it's horrible for you or just believing stupid influencers uncritically. Thank you. Pat for $1. RFK Jr. is removing red dye 40 from red vines. I guess I still won't be eating red vines. Harry Brownhole, G&G argument. Are they going to be okay? Saman's thick, meaty beaver for 10. The media saying Gunn versus Superman is a gay icon has the exact same energy as them pushing for both the Babadook and Pennywise the Clown to be gay icons.
Weirdos.
The Superman gay icon thing is weird because he has like one of the most famous romantic interests. You know?
Yeah.
Way too dumb for the zit. For $1.99. Lose all your turf. Drink Diet Comb.
Hey, they released a deleted scene from Superman 25. You ready to see it?
Yeah.
Here's the deleted scene right here. It's Jor-El. So he's oh no.
He's got that purple drink.
This is Jor-El right here. This is your dad, Superman. So
click on Mike's first tweet there. He actually had an interesting take. Donner's Jor-El. They can be great people, Kal-El. They wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way. For this reason above all, their capacity for good, I have sent them you, my only son. Snyder's Jor-El. You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun, Cal. Guns Jor-El. I'm going to need you to smash as many Zambras as you can. Make a harem. Be the baby daddy I know you can be. Then run the table on them Earthlings.
And that's how we get to there, right there. Oh, man. Yeah, on my rewatch of Man of Steel, though, minus the obviously the issues I have with it, man, there's a lot of good in Man of Steel. There really is, and there always has been.
Russell Crowe's great.
The thing that the rewatch has done, and the thing that Superman 25 has done, is it's made me appreciate the things that I appreciated about it more. But the things that I hate about it, I still hate about it. You know what I mean? But I just appreciate the things that I liked about it more. Like everything. Pretty much the first hour of the movie is fantastic outside of the Pa Kent moment, and everything on Krypton, the flashbacks, him growing up, the struggles he's going through, all that stuff is great. I love it so much.
I said that one. Warbrer, new Harry Potter looks like a 50-year-old lesbian. Thank you, Warbrer. BFSD10. It's disappointing. We're just moving further and further away from what Superman is supposed to be and what he's supposed to represent. They turn him into a crying bitch. Really? What are we doing?
It's just a dog. It's just a dog. It's just a dog. Fuck off.
He's not even a very good dog, but he's alone and he's probably scared. I like that one.
I like that line too. I mean, I love dogs.
I like that until they were like, "Hey, let's watch Green Lantern fucking hitting this thing for laughs."
So
like,
stupid.
God damn it! I liked that conversation between them. I really liked that conversation between them. But they couldn't stop making a joke out of it.
Yep.
Black Solid Snake Moan. Jay went to Canada. Dang, you better watch out for Terrence and Phillip mouth disease. Ministry and Wrong Think. Diet pop is like gutting yourself with a dagger and saying, it's okay. It's a diet sword. Nah. Brian Legier for 5. Superman has one of the highest audience scores ever. Y'all have the minority opinion. Also, inflation applies to the budget with Man of Steel. It's weird. At no point when I was comparing these movies did I ever need to talk about inflation. We said not even talking about inflation. We're just talking about the numbers, bro. But thanks, Brian. I'm glad that the audience reaction, the critic reaction for Superman on Rotten Tomatoes is exactly the same as it was for Thunderbolts. Very impressive.
Exactly. So there you go. Highest ever, ladies and gentlemen. Superman has one of the highest audience scores ever. Well, so does Thunderbolts. Anybody calling that the greatest movie ever? No, but I liked it. But this 93% means
I do think that there's more people, like, to be fair to the super chatter, Brian, I do think that in general, more people like it than dislike it. I do think that there is a massive campaign, and this is what Warner Brothers did, right? The Monday premiere and inviting all these people that have been shilling for the movie for forever to like come out there and participate, be influencers, and put out their glowing reviews. And then Tuesday, you get the early prime screenings, which again, we saw the same reaction for that we did for The Flash. It's the people that are most hyped, the most excited for it, the people who have been wanting this thing to be good forever, like all that stuff. Those are the initial reactions, and we got a lot of that. Over the weekend, I feel like it has been, you've seen more kind of normal people going, and you're seeing, I'm not saying that it's a hated movie. I don't think it's nearly as divisive as some other things out there, but I think the general thing is it was okay. That's how I feel like most people are with the movie.
And so if you look at the verified audience and then the all audience drops to 90%. But if you go to Thunderbolts, all audience drops to 92%.
Wow.
Might be the greatest movie ever made.
Massive success for Disney
in history. And there you go. So
yeah, but just for the record, we don't need to talk about inflation when it comes to Man of Steel at the box office, because it didn't even beat its run from 2013. We can talk about inflation if you want.
If you criticize Thunderbolts, you literally are an evil human being, and you hate animals.
Yeah, get your arguments from someone else, though, would be my recommendation. Sir Lancelotto. That wasn't a joke. Rehab works. I know it wasn't a joke. It was just funny that you like Last Jedi and then you fucking went to rehab and you like sobered up and you're like, wow, this is shit. Like, it was just, that is funny.
I liked The Last Jedi, and then I found out how to grift on YouTube. I've been okay since.
Ministry of Wrongthink. Mark Malkin is a master baiter. Sugar Ape. Can you always do Monday streams again, Jeremy? No, because we go too long.
Yeah. Not enough super chats.
Chimera. Fans are overreacting to female Silver Surfer. Off rip, this was advertised as a different universe. F4, not 616. Not surviving Secret Wars, in my opinion. The problem, the idea isn't, could they potentially adapt this one female Silver Surfer that takes place in this one like time frame in all the comics? It's should you? And the answer is no, you shouldn't. Because everyone knows who Silver Surfer is. Everyone is familiar with that. Not very many people actually even know who Shallabal is, even the person you cast for this role. And that's the point. Not could they do this, it's should they do this. So, and I do not be surprised if you see a big girl boss team up at the end of this movie to actually defeat Galactus. Orn, you gotten for Buck. Thank you. Heroic Kitten. Am I dumb for liking the dub plot of Johnny trying to bang the female Silver Surfer? Sounds pretty base to me. You know what? I like that. It's 100% good, which makes it wild that just a few months ago, you had Matt Shockman come out and you had Joseph Quinn come out and be like, we don't want Johnny to be like a womanizing guy who's always flirting with people. We want him to be more in touch with people's feelings and blah, blah, blah. And then you're advertising like a 30-second clip of Johnny like wanting to bang the Silver Surfer. That is Johnny. We should be seeing that. Why'd you tell us that it's not going to be like that?
Mm-hmm.
Ministry of Wrongthink. You guys see Twitch? Thoughts? Thanks. Vault 95, Jeremy live on G&G. Hoped it was bragging rights. Feel better about Johnny Storm after new clip? Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Ministry of Wrongthink. Superman's son is literally sucking D in the comics. Yep. Sir Hat, if Superman builds 100 bridges but sucks one cock, he's not a bridge builder. He's a cocksucker. Samwise GG. Jeremy watches 28 years later for the peepees. There's some big dicks in that. Some big fucking fake dicks in that. Pat for a buck. Drive-in movie critic Joe Bob Briggs rates movies by the number of breasts shown on screen. Well, I don't know if that's super. It is a way to judge them. I don't know if it's super fair, but Tobias, I agree with both parts. At that point, it's not Superman, it's child Clark Kent. Yeah, he's like 15 years old or something at that time. A kid whose entire life would be destroyed the second anyone in that crowd saw him, but he could have done it better. Fictitious, for fuck's sake, Jeremy wasn't Superman yet. You're going to the absolute extremes. Ryan's right. Maybe step back. Think about the implications of revealing himself.
You mean like
Jeremy
he did?
never thinks about the implications of revealing
You mean
himself.
like he did when he saved kids, because that was his initial reaction to save people when they were in danger? But he wasn't Superman on the school bus. But his initial response was, I have to save people right now. I have to risk it all and save people because people dying is the most important thing, and I will avoid that. But he wasn't Superman when his dad almost died, so we're going to give him an excuse. Fuck off.
Hold on. He moves forward and is about to do that. That is Clark's instinct.
Yeah.
It 100% is. And then his dad tells him,
but he's not Superman yet. So we can't say, so his instincts were, but either he wasn't Superman and that's why he didn't save him. I can't criticize it. Or, well, his instincts were to be Superman. Which is it? Like, this is the nonsense with the Snyder bro argument, is they always have a fucking excuse. If his instincts were to save him because he is Superman, why can I not criticize it because he's too young and he wasn't Superman yet?
What I'm saying is the way I look at that thing is not Superman choosing to let his dad die. It is his dad sacrificing himself so his son doesn't have to save him for the reasons that we've discussed to death. But I was just going off the argument that you made about him, like him not wanting to save his dad or something. Like that's not true. He did, and he was about to, and he was told to stop by his father.
Terrible scene. Dave Savage, you're just trying to get the argument started again anyways, all you're trying to do.
Bungle's twang or Uncle Ben moment equals Kevin Costner dad moment.
I just need Bully McGuire added to the scene, and I will I've already said this 1,000 times.
Oh, you're actually this is what people are bringing up now. Uncle Ben, notoriously bad parent. Based on your argument of why would you put yourself in that situation to have to, like, your child has to see you die or whatever. That's what that comment is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's a little different though, because it's all because Kevin Costner says under no circumstance can you reveal to the world who you are, no matter what. So if that's the baseline for it, then don't put yourself in a situation where your son has to literally try to save you or carry trauma for the rest of his life. That's my point, where Kevin Costner says, maybe you shouldn't save those kids, on the bus. Maybe you let them die. You got to make choices in life, Clark, and we can't reveal who you are. This is the fine line right here of, like, you can't do this. So that's what I am basing off of what the movie set up.
Yeah, so you think that this thing that the movie set up, Kevin Costner should have lived in a bubble the rest of his life, basically?
I think in the situation in that movie, I think that if somebody's going to stay back in that moment and try to rescue the fucking dog and people, then it should have been Clark. He could have gotten out of that situation. If Costner was a few steps from not getting his leg hurt to getting out of that situation, why the hell's the old man staying back and doing it? Not the superpower fucking alien.
Yeah, I just think that's like a rough argument of, like, don't put yourself in that position in that moment. Like that seems a little crazy.
It's a terrible scene.
Save the dad. Tornado carries away the witnesses. Minister Wrong think it's even worse, Jeremy. Superman refused to spin the world backwards and undo his dad and family from ever being in danger. # super sheet. Jeffrey Dahmer is a gay icon. That's true. Taker for 2. Why was that AI generated Jor-El Bradley Cooper? Because. Lord Bibby. In these stories, unfortunately, we know characters have to die to set up morality of the heroes. Uncle Ben has to die. The Waynes have to die. Costner Kent has to die. You both make strong points. God bless.
Well, if Pa Kent needs to die, then somebody needs to tell James Gunn, because that way I wouldn't have to deal with that stupid fucking scene in his movie. All right.
Thank you, Lord Bibby.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mad Frog, Snow White has a 70 on Rotten Tomatoes. Did they change the voting to protect movies from Captain Marvel? Everything after 2019 is inflated. Thanks, Mad Frog. Luis Comaneres for 199. Anyway, Disney release Avatar 3. The fuck? Disney releasing Avatar 3 in Fantastic Four to up box office. Luis, don't know what you mean. Avatar 3 comes out later this year. Could be huge. Probably going to be huge. Thank you. Taker. Jeremy, I pointed out to Ryan yesterday that Dr. Kirk Moore, who Bondi dropped charges against, looks like an older Jay. Got a laugh out of him.
Jay's the ICE agent. That's who he is.
Anime Blondie. Missed this original duo. Jeremy, come on, more dailies. Kissy.
You'll probably see me here. I mean, I'll pop in here from time to time. So Ryan and Jay's doing a great job. So
Bungles Twanger for 5. Clark had super speed. Nobody would have seen him save his dad. I think when people bring up like he's not Superman, I think that's the point they're trying to make about the super speed element. Like we've never seen him do that. We've never seen him fly. We've never seen him do those things in what they presented to us. I think that's where that he wasn't Superman argument comes from.
He could have just ran outside. Like, look what happened in the Donner Cut. He just runs outside and does his laser beams in his Clark Kent. It's so bad. Yeah. It's so bad. When Lois jumps out of the window, I think that's the Donner Cut. I think, yeah.
Madney says Martha. Thanks. Sir Hat, his dad shouldn't have run into danger to save his dad shouldn't have run into danger to save a dog, knowing his son would be put in that position to save, not him.
That's my. I'm just basing it off what Pa Kent said in the movie. It's not worth it.
And I think Jeremy,
are we caught up? Are we caught up? Finally.
God damn it.
All right. Well, I'll be doing Cobra Cast today, a little bit later. And today is the final day for the Cobra Cast merch over on our Teespring store. So tonight at midnight, they go away, whether you want to get a t-shirt or a hoodie. I think the blue hoodie is pretty fucking badass myself. But these go away at midnight tonight. Also, we have the Alligator Enforcement Agent 199 IDOT shirt and hoodies over there. So if you're interested in those, mods will be dropping links to that merch. So please go check that out. And of course, make sure you go over to Criticless and make yourself an account. If you have not, they have a Android app. They have an Apple app, and it's a really good website. So I think you guys will enjoy yourself over there at Criticless. So thanks for having me, Ryan. It's your show, not mine.
You're welcome. You are not welcome back anytime, but we'll do it again. Luis says, I meant the Avatar 3 trailer. That's what I get for being so cheap. Oh, you think they'll release the Avatar 3 trailer during Fantastic Four? I hadn't even thought about that. But I don't know. Maybe. Jeremy wanted to go to a movie just to see the fucking Odyssey trailer, which isn't even very good or very revealing.
It's really not. There's nothing there, but I just love Christopher Nolan teasers, man. So I am worried about the Odyssey, but I'm also very excited about the Odyssey. So, yeah, with Avatar, like I didn't like the first Avatar. I really like the second one. I don't know if I care about the third one. I have no idea. What did you think of the second one?
I liked it more than the first one.
Yeah.
I liked the family element storyline.
Yep.
And obviously it's just like everything Avatar. It's like very basic level storytelling and stuff. But I liked that element of it more than I liked the Dances with Wolves fucking shit from the first one. When did the first one come out? 2009, 2007?
Jeez, 2008 or 9, I feel like. 2009, I think.
I remember watching that movie in the theater and like looking over my friend and being like, this is environmental propaganda bullshit. So I would have been like 19 years old or something at the time that it like released. That's what I remember thinking about that movie. The second one certainly still had the elements of those things in there, right?
Yes.
But overall, the story itself, the family stuff, I liked it better. I never felt the need to ever watch it again. But I'm not excited for the third one, but I'll see it.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll go. Fire people. The fire people are probably going to be evil because fire's bad.
I'll be live. I'll probably do 2 different streams today. There's a lot of politics and stuff to cover. So, yeah. D-Day Cobra. I'll be live over there.
Sir Hat for $5 says, give me the power of the GG brand and I will give you an anime channel.
We had one a long time ago. We may try it again one day.
Thank you. We'll keep it in mind, Sir Hat. That's it. We're done. We're
Thank you guys. Appreciate
so
it.
long.
Thanks for having me, Ryan. Maybe one day I'll come back if you'll let me.
Maybe. We'll see. Bye, everybody.
Bye.